Hi guys, Mark here. Thank you very much for joining me. In this video, we're going to be making the swirl or tornado paracord key fob. It is based on the box knot done in a way that gives it a beautiful spiral effect. This key fob can be done in different types of cordage. For example here, I have one done with gutted paracord. The smaller one here is done using type 1 paracord. Let's take a look at the supplies. To make your key fob, you're going to need 3 pieces of paracord, each 4.5 feet long. I highly recommend that you gut your cord, removing the inner strands. Instead of Paracord 550, you can also use Type 1 paracord. For this smaller version of the key fob, you're going to need 3 pieces, each 3.5 feet long. Next, a piece of hardware in the form of a ring is going to be needed. Our last 2 supplies are going to be scissors and a lighter. Let's begin. To start off, we take one of our cords and we place our ring over the end. Then we move our ring to the middle point of our cord. So I simply fold my cord in half. So this is the middle point. Take your next cord, fold it in half. Place the middle point next to the ring. Take your final cord, again fold it in half. Place the middle point next to the previous cord. So, in essence, the 3 middle points of our cords cross here. Now, fold the first 2 ends over like this. Now, weave through your first 2 ends using the remaining 4. So first this one here, over under, then this one here, over under, this one here, over under, the final one, this one, over, under. This ties our first box knot. Tighten it up. So you get something like this. All further box knots are going to be tied with a slight variation. When setting them up, we're going to do it at a slight angle to our first box knot. So here, these 2 ends travel diagonally to our first box knot. Then weave the remaining 4 ends through the first 2. So this one over under, this one over under, this one over under, the final one over under. Now tighten up. Continue exactly the same way for quite a while. We're going to be stacking these diagonal box knots until we have just a bit of cord remaining in our ends. So again, these two at an angle to our previous box knot, then weave the 4 ends through the first 2. Over under, over under, over under, over under. Tighten up. Continue the same way. So after a few knots, you can already see the spiral pattern forming. After stacking quite a few diagonal style box knots, it's time to finish up our key fob. To do this, we're going to be tying the footrope knot. We start by tying a counterclockwise crown knot. You take a strand, pass it counterclockwise over the next strand. The next strand passes counterclockwise over the next strand. The next one counterclockwise over the next. The next one counterclockwise over the next. the next one counterclockwise over the last strand. The last one passes into the loop created by the first strand. Tighten up a bit. Like this, so the crown knot. We continue with a wall knot by taking each strand and passing under the next strand coming out of the box knot. So under this one here, in this case, up through the center. Usually I hold these strands using my left hand just to keep them out of the way. Take the next strand, pass it under the next strand coming out of the box knot and up. The next one, again, under the next strand coming out of the box knot and up. The next one, up. The next one, the final one. Pull slowly on all of the ends, tightening up the knot. Tighten up this knot as firmly as you can. You don't want it to untie at some point when using your key fob. So since the key fob is exposed to a lot of movement and pressures, really make this knot tight. So something like this. I'm going to trim the ends at a slight angle. Lightly melt the very tips. Apply a bit of heat onto the knot as well, just to really lock it into place. With that, our project is complete. So guys, I sincerely hope that I made the tutorial clear enough. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope to see you next time as well.